All right, so here we go. It's almost time for Jurassic World Evolution 3 to release on October 21st, 2025. And yes, a lucky few have had extended time on a recent build of the game, and early impressions have voiced both their praises and concerns. So what is Jurassic World Evolution 3 getting right? And what are the big worries here? Besides, there's a lot riding on this one. The first two entries were fun, but often criticized for their limitations: rigid building, lack of depth, repetitive loops. Now, Jurassic World Evolution 3 promises a lot of crazy new features, more species than ever before, more creative freedom, full breeding systems, terrain master tools, community sharing, and a campaign that ties directly into Jurassic lore. But with ambition comes risks, and has the excitement and danger of the dinosaurs been stripped away, considering there's tons of automation tools this time around. So let's see what players are saying so far. What's exciting? What makes them nervous? What features look like home runs or landmines? How modes and campaigns are shaping up? And the looming question, can this be the definitive Jurassic World sim? No story spoilers going forward, just impressions. Let's roll. Also, I'm doing a very big Jurassic World Evolution 3 giveaway, so for a chance to win a copy of the game, see that top pinned comment below. Good luck to everyone that enters. Now, if there's one thing everyone's talking about, it's how Frontier is pushing the life in the dinosaur park this go around. Jurassic World Evolution 3 isn't just about placing dinos and hoping nothing goes wrong. It's about families, inheritance, behavioral layers, and watching growth. The game boasts more than 80 species, and over 70 of them will come with female, male, and juvenile variants. That means we get nest, baby dinos, growth phases, and trait passing. You'll build nests, place eggs, incubate, raise juveniles, and finally see them mature. Now, the devs call this system the generation system. Traits, color patterns, stat modifiers are inheritable, meaning if a dinosaur has a desirable trait, you could try to preserve it in its offspring. Now, during early hands-on impressions, players mentioned moments where you pause just to watch juveniles follow their parents or to see how genetic mutation pops in. It adds emotional texture to the game. You don't just care about the production of your park anymore, you really care about the individual family bloodlines, and adds a lot to the park's personality according to early impressions. But also, you must pay attention to the morale and needs of your dinosaur families, especially the young ones. They'll feel uneasy if in certain conditions, like near other types of dinosaurs, or perhaps the space feels too crowded or is lacking vegetation or a certain type of food. It's absolutely important to take care of your baby dinosaur's needs. And breeding isn't so simple. You'll have to have the proper nest for the type of dinosaur and make sure your dinosaur is fertile first and foremost. In addition, you can only have so many males per herd. So yeah, there is a balancing act you'll have to learn. Plus, dinosaurs doing the deed will require total privacy away from noise and distractions to ensure a successful breeding session. And breeding is actually important to your park because guests prefer naturally bred dinosaurs versus artificially created dinos. But also, some early playtesters did voice their concerns around the early breeding system, but these would be considered somewhat minor. If trait inheritance is superficial, mostly visual tweaks with minimal gameplay impact, it'll feel gimmicky. Now, some early impressions already voice cautious optimism with this. If the difference between traits doesn't meaningfully shift behavior, aggression, or territory, the system could plateau into a cute dino breeding simulator. Also, scaling the system is tough when you have dozens of dinosaur families, nests, and interactions. Performance and complexity can spiral fast, so we'll see how this game holds up in the long term. Another layer to this, behaviors and social dynamics. There are hints and claims that species will have social preferences, dominance hierarchies, interspecies tolerance, and yes, we'll be getting semi-aquatic species as well. So developing deeper water terrain within your park can be super important. So for example, some species may prefer certain herd sizes or distance buffers, or get stressed if mixed with incompatible neighbors. But yeah, early impressions so far is mixed with this. Some say behaviors feel more scripted than emergent so far, but we'll see how this one pans out in the long term once again. Also, the nesting and incubation systems, you might preview offspring traits in a 3D viewer before committing, giving you a preview of your next generation, which is really, really cool. Now, these preview tools are promising. They give you foresight rather than blindly throwing eggs and hoping for the best. Now, in short, if Frontier nails a generational ecosystem with feedback loops, emotional hooks, and meaningful variety, this will elevate the simulation big time. But honestly, by far, one of the biggest draws to this game are the baby dinosaurs and the breeding system. I think it's going to add a ton of personality to the proceedings, and I think it's going to add a lot to your park. And one of the most fascinating tensions in the early feedback is this: are we building parks for control or for chaos? This is definitely a very interesting discussion. But stick with me here because there's actually a silver lining and some really good news. The Jurassic formula has always thrived in the space between managing and responding to disaster. The first early playtest and early impressions suggest that Jurassic World Evolution 3 leans towards control. Now, the game includes a suite of automation and preventive tools. Maintenance posts roam to repair fences. Auto capture and security systems help detect and contain escapes. Camera systems monitor enclosures, and so on. These are meant to reduce micromanagement, of course, and help you prevent crises before they become full-blown. Many early impressions say that these tools are robust and intuitive, and they allow players to feel confident even in massive parks. But again, reduce risk too much and you lose that tension, which Jurassic Park games are known for. Some hands-on express that escape events, dino fights, or disasters feel muted right now compared to what one hopes for. Now, there's good news here because there are tons of different options that this game has. So, for example, if defaults lean too safe, veteran players will crank up the difficulty or disable systems to reintroduce tension. So that does seem to be a thing that you can do. And there are some reassuring signs here, though. Previews do show demos of dinos escaping and interacting with terrain, knocking things over, causing damage and all sorts of chaos. So the potential is there for sure. Whether it becomes frequent or scripted is what we'll have to watch for closely when the full game comes out. And if you ever wish you could tinker under the hood of your Jurassic World Evolution 3 is leaning hard into that dream. The building and terrain freedom seems the biggest visual upgrade here. Instead of rigid prefabs, everything is modular here. Walls, windows, beams, doors, trims, you can scale, rotate, customize, snap, or freeform, and combine them in new ways. And the early impressions say that this system draws on the experience of Frontier gathering from Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, bringing that particular creativity into the dinosaur park space. The game's behind-the-scenes tech blog highlights that buildings have received a massive overhaul to support modular edits. And terrain tools are more powerful too: sculpt cliffs, elevation changes, deep water, plateaus, island trenches, and then make them look natural. Want a waterfall cascading into a sunken lagoon or a cliffside enclosure overlooking your park? The tools claim to support that kind of creativity. A critical addition, by the way, deeper water zones, meaning some semi-aquatic creatures can swim or use depth, which adds dimension literally to enclosure design, which is very, very cool. And you can actually build like an entire water ride as well, which I did showcase in a video, which looks absolutely stunning. And we're going to talk about blueprints and workshop sharing. You can upload your entire park, plop community parks in your game, combine other player buildings, or import terrain layouts. The cross-platform sharing is a big deal, by the way. It lets creators on all systems feed off each other, giving longevity to this game. In effect, your park becomes a canvas others can remix. Now, in early impressions, one creator did say they spent more time tweaking path angles, wall trims, and scenic edges than feeding the dinosaurs. And that's exactly the kind of community content mindset Jurassic World Evolution 3 is courting. But again, complexity is a double-edged sword. If snapping is finicky, collisions glitch often, or memory caps hit hard, that creative freedom will feel more frustrating than liberating. So yeah, there's some concerns here about performance bogging down over time, considering the complexity of your park. But early impressions, at least so far, are leaning into the good side of things. And yeah, since we're talking about performance, we got to talk about the graphics engine itself. And you're probably wondering, hey, Robbie, what graphics engine are we running on here? Did Frontier make the switch to what many would consider the dreaded Unreal Engine 5? And thankfully, the answer is no. So far, by all indications, The in-house engine is running great from early impressions, but let's hope this actually continues into release on day one. Clearly, the visuals are seeing a boost here from Jurassic World Evolution 2. Some say it looks pretty similar, but I gotta say, after looking at footage from the previous game, the lighting engine has definitely been improved, textures, and we are looking at a global situation here. Many different new biomes to explore and build on. And yeah, designing enclosures is only one half. Filling them with wonder is the other. Jurassic World Evolution 3 is expanding the guest side in modest but interesting ways. The headliner here is balloon tours. That's right, you could drop a balloon station, set waypoints, and guests float above your park, peering down into your dinosaur world. The devs clarified that balloons are invulnerable, they can't be attacked or popped, so there's safe space for aesthetic overhead views. It's more flavor than threat, but visuals matter here. Other guest features include view angles, path layouts reacting to dinosaur sight lines, scenic overlays, trees, cliffs, water features. Some previews also mentioned more reactive guest AI, guests pausing to stare, rerouting paths to vantage points. But overall, it seems like NPCs react to their environment and also the actual weather system itself. You'll see them take cover and kind of panic. And yeah, if the T-Rex escapes its enclosures, expect crowds to be absolutely freaking out. It's really cool to see, and it's one thing that I absolutely love in this game. And in recent interviews, Frontier said your park's visual moments should feel curated. You're building more for the experience than just numbers. That means scenic lines, photo ops, surprise reveals, and layered vistas matter. Early previews lean positive in this direction. They report fountains, waterfalls, terraces, layered vegetation combined to give parks more wow than prior entries. And Sandbox fans, don't worry, you still have that option, but the campaign side is getting bolstered in ways early impressions say might make it the real draw. The campaign now ties into Jurassic canon. It's set after Jurassic World Dominion and has you working under the Dinosaur Integration Network to manage dinosaur presence globally. You'll hop between real regions, and early reveals, places like Japan and Hawaii or Malta, are confirmed and teased. The campaign is non-linear. You could revisit parks, decide which region to hit next, and backtrack rather than being tethered to a fixed path. In some dev commentary, they claim the campaign is the largest in the series' history in both map variety and hours, which sounds very impressive. And guess what? Yes, Jeff Goldblum is returning as Dr. Ian Malcolm, lending narration, commentary, and a familiar voice, and adding a lot of personality here. Some early impressions note the campaign also works as a structured tutorial for newcomers, a gentle way into all the systems before you break free in sandbox mode. But the real test is how many choices matter here. Early coverage is mixed on this reception, by the way. People like the freedom to revisit, but some say the branching is lighter than one might hope. And yes, beyond the campaign, it seems like there's going to be a lot to do with the sandbox and challenge mode, so it looks like it's going to be a good time for sure. And by the way, mentioning the sandbox experience, Jurassic World Evolution 3 will have what is called an island generator. Now, it provides customizable layouts and is designed to significantly boost the game's replayability by offering unique terrain challenges for each new park. So you'll have customizable map generation here within the game's sandbox mode. You can adjust sliders to control perimeters such as the island shape and the quantity of mountains, water, and trees. And we also have something called island DNA codes. Each generated island has a unique DNA code. This allows you to share your custom map settings with other players or input a code from another player to recreate their specific island. And the game is also boasting varied terrain here. The generator can produce complex land masses, including smaller, separate islands that can be connected to your main park via the monorail and Hyperloop systems. This is really cool. But again, you could share your parks. You can actually upload your entire created park to the Frontier Workshop to share it with the community, allowing others to see your personalized creations. And this is really cool because this is a full island building. The feature lets you build your park across the entire standalone island you generate, rather than being confined to a predefined space. So yeah, this is definitely going to be one of those standout features that should really add life to the game. And there are some signs, by the way, that Frontier hopes to expand on this feature in the future. We'll see what they do with it. So yeah, Jurassic World Evolution is obviously carrying serious ambition here. The generational system could transform a dinosaur park into a living legacy modular building and terrain tools are clearly designed to unlock creativity. The campaign links to Jurassic lore, and community sharing adds so much potential longevity. If all systems do deliver, this could be the star entry in the series. But overall, I am super optimistic about Jurassic World Evolution 3. It really does feel like they took to the fans' feedback and really implemented some absolutely amazing systems. We'll see what happens. It definitely looks like a visual upgrade. But yes, things are looking very good for Jurassic World Evolution 3. So yeah, stay tuned here for more news and updates about this one. Thanks guys for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.